29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never.
Yes. I'm in business this morning. This afternoon, this evening. Anywhere you're watching from. I tell you, the dawn in the building. It's all about sports. Monday Sports Talk Show. Only on One Night TV. You can't find it anywhere. This is how we roll. This is how we do it. You can't find it anywhere. So simple is gone. Big up to everybody watching this. Alright. This is how we roll. This is how we do it. Anywhere you're watching from, the dawn is absolutely in the building. This is how we roll. Let's talk. Let's chat. Oh, join. But before I start talking, let me tell you, I have special crew behind the scene. Let me call them in one by one after the other. I'm telling you, Nubia Prince is here live and direct. Nubia Prince, you're live. What's going on, bro?
Good to be here at the dawn.
Yeah, talk to me.
What's popping?
Nothing much, bro. Everything is popping.
I actually saw Osimhen, bagging a hat-trick yesterday. The guy just used that match, start. Only Tommy and Principe alone, the guy smashed in 7 goals. Now he's on 16 at drift of Rashidi Yekini, who is on 37.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Exactly. I'm happy for him. I don't believe that there is any small team in football. The honest truth is, you use the opportunity to super stats. Ronaldo will do it. Messi will do it. Ronaldo at least will play against San Marino, Gibraltar, all those teams. He will score 5 goals. So if Ronaldo can nobody is saying, he scored against Minos. I mean, if Osimhen can do it too, nobody should talk about that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me call on so many other people coming in. Thank you, Nubia Prince. You are welcome to the show. Moving on to this person. Your media rights here with us live and direct. What's going on, bro? What's pumping? What's going on, bro? Talk to me. You're live.
Yeah, good evening, Don. Good evening, Nubian friends. It's great to be back. Over the weekend, like Nubian Prince mentioned, we saw Osimhen. That was yesterday. We saw Osimhen score a hat-trick against Altomir and Principe. And then we also saw in tennis at the US Open, we saw Coco Gauff and Novak Djokovic win the ladies and men's singles titles. Amazing performance from both players, and I guess we'll dissect that in today's show.
All right, let's move on. You're welcome, Shayo Migyora. All right, let me call on this man. Do you know where this man lives? He lives in Oshodi City. I tell you, Wale Peluche, there's no mess around city. Tell me something. Kule, you're welcome to this on the show.
Good evening, the Dawn. Good evening to Nubian Prince and Cher and everyone tuned in. It's a beautiful Monday again. Yes, it's a beautiful Monday here in Oshodi, and we're still in the international break. We can't wait for football to come back this weekend. But yeah, like Cher mentioned, we had the Super Eagles beat Sao Tome and Principe yesterday. 6-0. I mean, come on. 6-0. It was expected. They are the San Marino of Africa. So, and a good one for Osimhen. He has 20 goals for the Super Eagles. But should I bust your bubble on something? Osimhen, 7 of Osimhen's goals have come against Sao Tome and Principe. So people are comparing him to like Ronaldo, that the bulk of Ronaldo's goals have come against the likes of San Marino, Liechtenstein, and all of that. So they were just using it to make mockery. But it's a good effort from him. It shows that Osimhen is top class, and that was a good performance nonetheless.
All right, let's move on quickly. I'm going to Ibadan. I'm going to Ibadan right now. I am going to Ibadan. From Ibadan. How do we get to Ibadan? Let me remember. From Akpata, no. From Puto to Akpata. From Akpata, you enter Ring Road. This person, let me work on him. Robbie, tell me, how do I get to Ibadan?
Well, you're in Ibadan already. Good evening to you, Don. Good evening to the guys in the house. It's good to be on the show once again. And yes, everybody's talking about Victor James Osimhen, but I think I will more or less talk about Ansel Flick. This is one man that was shown the door yesterday after that very, very humiliating defeat at the hands of Japan in the international friendly that was played in Germany. And that just tells you the fact that Germany, more or less, who have got just 9 months to the start of the Euros, are not playing around. They want a coach that can more or less get the best out of this team. Their World Cup campaign was shambolic, and I'll tell you, I was very shocked at how well they crumbled, or how easily they crumbled at the World Cup. But right now, he has been shown the door, and of course, let us see who will be named as the new manager. And of course, for tennis, Novak Djokovic, he continues to blaze the trail. For Coco Gauff, I am very, very happy for her. 19 years old, and I tell you, she is an amazing young athlete. So let us get the show started in earnest.
Oh my goodness. Moving away from Ibadan now. Let me go to Lagos City, straight up. Lagos City, that lady, the Iron Lady of ISTV. Bagre, talk to me. You are live. What's going on, sis?
Yeah, the Don. Good evening, the Don. You know, when you call that Lagos, the thing treat me, at least not be bad. Oh, I keep your own show the boy. You call Lagos. Yeah. All right, good evening, the Don. And I'm pretty sure. Let me tell you, they compare. Well, Osimhen and Cristiano is far. No, they compare. Don't even bring that up. Even if it's score against Abia Warriors or Yimba. Now go. You know what they don't win? Stop Amo. Good evening, guys.
Time from Ronaldo. Goals don't drop. How many goals he score against the big boys?
It's still past your own. It still be the highest for men. Which men don't reach out? None.
Nobody. All right, let me call on this man. I'm telling you, he has to show me the way to United Kingdom. From Lagos, I'll enter where? Is it Togo? Let me bring this man on. All the way from United Kingdom. Up everybody, you are live. Talk to me. What's going on? It's Monday Sport Talk Show. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, the Don. It's a pleasure to be on ISTV. If you want to get to the United Kingdom from Lagos, you will enter on that bridge.
One chance. Yeah. All right. I like that. All right. How we do people. And you like on the videos. This is how we do it. We don't mess around. We mix. Call it mix bag. You know. So different style of doing podcast is fun. I'm telling you, this is how we do it. This is how we roll. All right, moving on. Let me welcome everybody onto this show. Shaye is here, Kunle is here, Robbie is here, Margaret is here, Shaye, and Nubia Prince. You're welcome to the show. Let me quickly say this. This is breaking news right now. Paul Pogba failed a doping test following Juve 3-0 win over Udinese last month, testing positive for maybe Kunle, you help us Google this testosterone. Kunle.
Testosterone.
All right.
That's like testosterone is one of the major what's it called? So it's one of the major masculine hormones. It's one of the hormones in the body that promotes masculinity and all. But they use it for substance. This thing, there's a way they make a drug and have it boost performance, and it just kind of makes me wonder why Pogba would want to use performance enhancing drugs. Well, maybe because he has been out of action for so long.
Okay.
But then we need to understand the sports that we are in. There is need for integrity in sports. You don't want people cheating, because it doesn't make the game fair if everyone takes performance enhancing substances. we saw what happened to people like Marion Jones. Um, then the biggest example, what's his name? This guy that used to Lance Armstrong, who took it for 6 years to win the Tour de France. So this is a very bad one from Paul Pogba because I think it has stinged him. Footballers don't take doping substances. If there's anyone that takes, maybe the lower profile, but high profile players don't. So I feel this is very bad from Pogba. He's definitely going to be facing punishment for it, and we don't know what the length will be, but I think it's a very, very big shame for Pogba, knowing that he's had a very brilliant career and, he was just trying to revive it after all his injury problems. So it's a very, very bad one. And I'm very sad that such has to, happen to him.
All right, let's move on. This game, Ukraine versus England. There's no person I'm going to call more than Okwe. Okwe, what happened? What's going on, UK? The game is 1-1. I saw your tweet. Is it your tweet? Yeah, sometimes over the weekend, questioning the game of Southgate, bringing off Bellingham and Henderson coming on for the game. Look at this game. It seems, we spoke about it on Friday. That we're not sure this guy is just favoring his people. Different people have been hammering on this decision by Southgate. So many people have called on his head to be sacked without shadow of a doubt. What's your position being in the UK? What was the environment looks like after the game? Okay.
So first of all, it was very disappointing because it's been a while since international football had been played, a bit about 4 months. So the usual culture here in the UK is that everyone is gathered at pubs. They've got their England shirts on, they're drinking beers, and they're watching the game with excitement and enthusiasm. Yes. And then knowing that England possesses some of the best attackers in the world in the names of, Harry Kane, they've got Marcus Rashford on the bench. They had an informed Edin Ketia who did not even make the bench. And then, you've got the likes of Declan Rice and Co who are in good form. And then definitely they did expect to win the game with all due respect to Ukraine. However, it seemed to be down to lack of lack of synergy on the pitch. And it's funny to say because this crop of players have been playing together for a while, but then they seem to lack some sort of synergy. James Maddison playing on the left wing seemed to be out of position. I don't know why Gary Southgate keeps playing him on that position when his best place is actually in the middle of the park. And because he had the chance to play him in the middle of the park and drop Jordan Henderson, I don't understand the reason for Jordan Henderson, because if he's particular about a box-to-box midfielder, Jude Bellingham could actually play that position and just take a step back for Maddison to play the role as a full 10, So he had other great options with him, but he decided to stick with, should I say, his preferred team. And then again, a lot of pundits worldwide, majorly, they've been asking for his head, but no one really was attacking him for his choice until recently. Just on Sunday after the game, Michael Richards, during his podcast show with Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer, he did say that it's quite obvious that Gary Southgate seems to be picking his friends, because even prior to the World Cup, there were issues with the selection. Now there are also issues with the selection. People are wondering, why is Ben White not in the squad? Why don't you have other strikers being able to compete with Harry Kane as well? But definitely Harry Kane is in good form currently, so him playing right now is not a problem. But other areas of the field, you do expect Southgate to make better decisions. So right now, people are just calling for a change and someone more tactical. Recently, a lot of rumors have said that after Euro 2024, this is going to be Southgate's last chance to bring silverware to the Three Lions. After that, England is going to push heavily to hire Pep Guardiola. So that would be a great thing for them, since he has had a long history of working with some English players and bringing the best out of them. So let's see what the future holds for England. First things first, hopefully they do qualify for the Euros, and then hopefully they are able to take a serious charge at the illustrious tournament and bring a trophy home.
Yeah, Kunle, you're also saying Saudi can't play everyone. England has too many talented players. Kunle, what's your
How
position
about
on?
playing the right people at the right time? How about sticking to
Oh,
if you are
Um,
in form and if you are playing for your club, that is what qualifies you to play for the Three Lions. How about that? Because that's one reason why I respected Southgate so much and I liked him until recently. It just seems like he's picking his favorite people. So when did that policy go out?
yeah, Kunle.
okay, yeah. Well, I don't know, but like I said, I think England have always had talent. I mean, this selection problem has been there even from the days when the likes of Beckham, Scholes, Hargreaves, them were active. Then Lampard, Gerrard. I remember very well, especially when it came to that midfield.
Hmm.
There was just this abundance of for how many of them can get to the field. Now, England are now at a point where they have, for me, the crop of players they have now are even more talented than those guys. Like there are more options. So
Yeah.
the thing is, how do you want to? Okay, look at this now. See the way they've been clamoring for Fikayo Tomori, right? But there's a McGuire that is there. There's a Ben White that Okpe
Mention.
mentioned. Who else is there? How many players can he? And the truth is, with international, international football is not like club football. There are limited games, so there is really no room to experiment, even in the qualifiers, because you are using qualifiers to gear your team up for the tournament proper. So you don't want to be just be tilting things anyhow. Otherwise, it could come out and backfire. Well, maybe now with what happened against Ukraine, maybe Southgate is seeing that okay, maybe something is not working, right?
Hmm.
So I think I don't know if they have another qualifier to play this week, or maybe it's a friendly. There's the October window, there's the November window. So I think there is at least a bit of time now for him to at least make some few tweaks. But he's not going to do it. He's not going to rush into these things, because if he does, it can actually come back and backfire, and the fans will still be the ones to come back and complain and say,
All right.
why did he try this and all? So I guess he's seeing it and he knows what he's doing.
Okay, you know what he's doing. I'm going to disagree with you, Kunle, but we'll talk on that after the show because of our time. Let's move on to this. I'm going to call on Robbie. Robbie, you started with this. I want you to explain more about this man being sacked, over the weekend. It seems Germany are not taking any stone unturned. They don't want to waste time. If they don't want to mess up. This coach is a fantastic goal, but looking at his stats, he's not doing well. He's not doing well. So what's your position on this, Robbie?
Well, it's just quite unfortunate that Hansi Flick was shown the door over the course of the weekend. But going back to his antecedents as Bayern Munich manager, he won the Champions League for Bayern Munich, he won the league for Bayern Munich, he won the German Cup for Bayern Munich. So he's one man that they believed strongly was actually going to take them to the next level. That was after this man left. That was after Nagelsmann. No, not Nagelsmann. I'm trying to remember the name of the former manager that was there. That was at the former manager. That was when the former manager left. But as it is, I think Germany has always had this romance with Bayern Munich as a club and as an entity. Why? Because a bulk of Bayern Munich, there is no team in the German Bundesliga or more or less churn out the amount of players from Bayern Munich like any other club. And with Hansi Flick, there was that move that was made by the German football authorities in terms of since Jurgen Loh was going to leave at that point in time, Hansi Flick is more or less the next or the best option available for to take over the job. And yes, when he took over the job, I think that was just where his problems started. One can say that more or less maybe because of the fact that he was not experienced as regards coaching a country or a national team. More or less that was just his major undoing. Because I cannot remember any match that Germany played under as a flick that they were exceptional, just like the way we have always seen Germany play. I can't remember that match. At the World Cup, I touted them as one of the teams that would excite, looking at the kind of talents that they brought to the table. But I was also skeptical as regards the cohesion of the team. And look at what happened. In the group stage, they were knocked out unceremoniously.
Absolutely.
And the game that they even won, that ultimately it was the result from other games that threw them out of the tournament. They struggled to win that game. I think that game was against Costa Rica. And at a point in time, they were trailing in that match. So it just tells you the dynamics of the problems that Germany faced at the World Cup that more or less gave German football authorities that doubt as regards the ability of Hansi Flick, as regards, guys, are we sure this man can do what we want him to do for the national team? And like I said, the result against Germany, this was a match that was played on home soil, was more or less the last straw that broke the camel's back for them. And trust that people like I'm trying to remember this Bayern Munich legend, people like Oliver Kahn, they are football authorities that are staunch backers of German football as well as the German national team, because it was very successful with both club and country. So with what is going on right now, from the report I got, that the former coach of Bayern Munich, that is Nagelsmann, is touted as possibly the next man that will take over the reins of affairs leading the German national team forward. It is still speculation, so we don't know how true that is yet. And like I said, the Euros is just 9 months away from now. And I tell you that Germany is one country, because they are going to be the one to host the tournament. And this is one tournament they want to win, because it's been a while they won a national tournament or more or less a major silverware in Europe. And they want to use the tournament as a statement going into the 2026 World Cup.
All right, let me turn to the viewers. Anywhere you're watching from, you can drop your comment. Who do you think will replace this German head coach, Hans Flick, who has been sacked over the weekend after they lost to Japan? So you can drop your comment on the comment section. We're going to read it out. Because of my time, we're still going to talk so many things we're going to discuss. So I'm going to call on Margaret. As a Manchester United fan, Anthony to take a period of absence. I've already done that, and the club has already given me the go ahead to go and sort out the problem or whatever the case may be. So what are you standing on this, Margaret, as a Manchester United fan? I don't want to talk right now. Fuming.
Okay. Well, I think he made the club and Anthony, they made the right decision for him to go on leave of absence, because we know that it's going to actually distract the players. No matter how they say, okay, let him play until maybe they find him guilty. It's going to be a kind of distraction, and in himself, the psychological trauma, that accusations and all of that is going to actually weigh him down, and it won't let him perform very well. And generally, there are some fans who said, okay, until the court find him guilty, they should have just allowed him to play. But I actually do not buy that, because for now it's just an accusation. We don't know yet until the court until they make all the investigation, then find out if actually he's guilty of that. And but then while going through this Anthony things, so many things came to my mind that we don't know. So a lot of women comes out right now. A lot of women come out and start saying that this player do this one was accused of this. We don't know what is going on. What if some of them are actually not true? Some might not be true. Some might just, because these are they are players, they have the money, so they might look for a way to
cash out.
To cash out. Now, there's some few of these players that have been accused before. Now, I just find out some things about them. Number one, Ronaldo. When Ronaldo made a world record move from Manchester United to Madrid, he was accused. He was accused. When Neymar made a world record move from Barcelona to PSG, he was accused. And who else? Who else? I think some of these players, they have at a point in their career when they tend to do well or make a more bigger money, women tend to come out to accuse them. Now, Anthony, and the incident, according to them, according to the first one, happened last year, May. And by that May, Anthony was not yet a Manchester United player. He came in as a Manchester United player in August. And then the other one came, they claim that this thing had happened last year. Why didn't they come out all this while? Why did they have to wait until this player make big money move before they start coming out? Because we keep seeing so many different they keep saying what some of this accusation, what they are saying actually doesn't actually go in line. We come out, this one come out and say this one come out and say this. All of them decided to come at the same time. The other one said it was last year October. That was like a month after he made his Manchester debut, or a few months. Yeah, I think a month after Manchester debut. That was when it happened. The thing is, most these things happen because they are really. I'm a woman, no doubt. Fine, I am not going to say I will be happy that if I'm being abused or abuse and all. No, but this happened at the point when it's getting too much. It's too much. It's not about because I'm a Manchester United fan. In as much as I am not happy all this while about how Anthony is playing football. But it would have been an opportunity for me to say, okay, let him go. But no, I'm living in sentiment aside. But I think this is getting too much. Is it because they are giving women too much priority? So they have the right to come out and claim this one do this, this one do this, this one do this, bringing out all sorts of allegations. I just pray that the court find Anthony. Let's see. I hope he didn't do it.
All right.
I just hope so.
I'm going to tell you, Sheye, Shora Fobinio, and Nubia Prince, be careful because anything can happen. Shora, oh my goodness. Nubia Prince, I want to say touch on this, Nubia Prince. I want to bring it. I want your opinion. Is it just this word is just? If you become a celebrity now, are you sure these women will just come out from nowhere and start telling you, you touched me one time ago, where you are? I mean, what's your position on this?
For me, I actually
it's
think
getting too much.
Yeah, yes, it might be getting too much, but you are Yoruba, so you should be able to resonate with this. There is no smoke without fire, and the honest truth. Yeah. If you say only yogi are being, how do they say it? If you are wearing white, you run away from palm oil. Right.
Ben, yeah,
that's the honest truth. The honest truth is, why are they not accused? How much is Anthony earning? Let's be sincere with ourselves. He's not even one of the top earners. Why are they not accusing Rashford?
That means you have to be careful of where you are going.
Why is nobody accused Maguire?
Maguire.
Why has nobody accused Haaland? Why
nobody
was it that was accused? Why was it Grealish that was accused? Why did nobody accuse De Bruyne? So it tells you that the honest truth is, yes, you are celebrities, you are earning big bucks, you are the center of all eyes. But you have to be careful. If you go to the bar and you get drunk, most likely you will misbehave. And if you misbehave, there is a tendency that they will find something to cope you with. Now, I'm not trying to condemn Anthony and say, okay, he's guilty without even going through, the right process. But the honest truth is, if you watch Anthony on the field of play, the guy has a bit of violence in him. Let's be sincere with ourselves. No. Watch Anthony very well. Even celebration has a bit of violence. That cat-like, bringing out claws. Let's be sincere with ourselves. So I would not be surprised if at the end of the investigation, is found guilty of assaulting.
But we can't say that right now.
That's what I'm not. Exactly. I'm not. That was why I said I'm not coming out to say categorically that he's guilty. I'm only saying he has that. If you remember very well, that particular match that
it's called as now.
No. That particular match that Casemiro was given a red card for trying to choke a player. Anthony started that scuffle. If you look at it very well, even slapped a player. If you look at it very well.
But Nubia Prince, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's stop it there because is this situation is under investigation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
let's do
whatever comes out of it. But the honest truth is,
yeah.
players should be careful where they go to, how they do it there, because
Because
as
you just so
as
somebody
as
saying so
these guys the ladies are just like, some of them will have
Inspector General of Police is looking for you to be a police.
some of them will have
Robbie.
cases, while some of them will have flimsy cases. But all in all, if you are not careful, if you don't work in the baby, if you don't work on the fringes of it, nobody will accuse you. If you are in your house sleeping, nobody will accuse you. Is Saka not any mega box? Has he ever been accused? No.
All right, let's move on to this one. Shaye, you are going to tell us, this president of Spanish resigned over kissing situation. Shaye, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I actually found it. I saw or I read
In fact, I was waiting for an
of
article
his
from you on this.
Well, to be fair, I don't have strong opinions about it, but I just wondered why it took him so long to
resign.
to resign. I think it was obvious that there was really no way he would be able to continue. We saw how much condemnation and the hire of the public that he drew, because obviously it seemed a bit weird at the time. It was overly touchy, it was overly I don't know, physical with the players, in the sense that it was hugging them, touching them somewhat indiscriminately, and then in case Jenny Amoso. So, and at the time, watching it, I thought it was even surprising that, come on, you are in a position of power, you shouldn't be acting like this. So I wasn't surprised when things blew over eventually. So I think it was just a matter of time, and then him leaving is just normal. It should have happened weeks back, and it's just painful that it tainted the Spanish women's World Cup win, because we didn't even get the chance to celebrate them well. It was most talking about the kiss. So the players, they took their stand. Even some players for the men's team as well. I remember seeing Borja Iglesias' statement that he wouldn't play for the team for the men's team until they changed the national team's president, or the FA president. So I'm pretty pleased that finally we've reached the reasonable, logical conclusion for Rubiales.
All right. On that, it's going to take us to the basketball. Shaye, you're familiar with the game that was the FIBA World Cup? Yeah, Shaye, still talking with you.
I think that's
Kule. That's
I'm a tennis person.
All right, Kule. I know you want to say something about this as well too. The US Open, the man himself, this man. I love this guy, Djokovic, win this equal 24 Grand Slam title. So on Djokovic, the game played on US Open in New York today. Can you give us some thoughts about this? This one is too much. It's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I stayed up to watch the whole game, and that was unbelievable tennis that I watched. Like, I mean, the second set alone was
7. Wow.
Yeah, 7-6 was. It took almost 2 hours, and that goes to tell you how these players were ready to go the distance, were ready to stretch themselves, but at the end of the day, I think Novak Djokovic always reigns supreme, because he has that mental edge over every other person on the field. Yeah, you could see where after the match, he wore a shirt where he was paying a tribute to Kobe Bryant, and on the shirt it had Mamba. And he made mention of how during the period when he was injured, how he used to talk to Kobe Bryant for, motivation, to build mentality. And, that was the kind of person Kobe Bryant was, during his lifetime. That's why they call it the Mamba mentality. because it was a monstrous, and we can see it in Novak Djokovic. He's 36. He's the oldest person to win a Grand Slam in the Open era, and it's so scary that this guy is not done yet.
Massive.
He's so strong, he is so fit that this guy still probably has maybe like 2, 3. Who knows? Maybe he can reach. Maybe I don't know. He can. Maybe he still has like 4 Grand Slams to win, and it's scary. But that's where look back. Novak Djokovic is, and I would say though that it's rather unfortunate that the guy is not as celebrated as many would, as he should have, because and that's, I think, largely because of the country he comes from. He comes from a country where previously they were known as communists, and there's this sentiment in the West that communism is bad, is evil. So people who come from Eastern Europe are not seen as big figures in the West. So it's rather unfortunate, but I think it is actually good that Djokovic has been able to weather that storm, weather that hate, and look at him still standing strong. So even if you don't like him, I'm sorry, you would have no choice but to like him at the end of the day, because he's going to keep it going.
All right, Robbie, you want to remember short? Robbie, you talking about the FIBA World Cup for our basketball lovers. USA were out, and I tell you, people are mad here. Right here in US, they are very angry. So quickly touch on this before we move on to.
Okay, for the FIBA World Cup, the US were defeated. That was in the semifinals, and they lost by a very slim margin. They lost by just 2 points in the semifinals, and I think it was very annoying for a lot of people who expected more from them. Basketball, or US, is more or less regarded as the home of basketball, and I think because of the aftermath of what happened, the news I got, the latest update I got this evening before I came on the show, is the likes of, let me use this word, the big boys in the NBA have decided to commit to next year's Olympics representing the US. I mean, the likes of LeBron James. LeBron James is coming in. Yes, Draymond Green, they are all coming on board for the Olympics. So it tells you that the Olympic roster for the US is going to be a star-studded roster. And just like I told somebody, they are coming out to right this wrong and more or less restore the pride of basketball in the country. So yesterday we saw Germany go up against Serbia. Serbia is another amazing country when it comes to basketball. Talking about other countries that play basketball in Europe. After Serbia, you have the likes of Greece, you have the likes of Spain. These are powerhouses when it comes to basketball in Europe. And yesterday, it was surprising that Germany actually got to the finals, and it was most surprising that Germany won the World Cup yesterday. It was a very, very close encounter before halftime. And I think during the second half, yes, Germany were able to more or less sneak it away, and they got their hands on their first title, talking about the FIBA World Cup. So it's a good one for Germany. And of course, like I would say, US is coming back stronger at the Olympics next year.
Yeah, let's move on to this quickly. Okwe, come and talk to me about this lady. She won the Grand Slam. This girl was on fire. Goaf Coco winning over Sabalenka. Okwe, talk to me about this.
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Coco Gauff, winning a Grand Slam at the age of 19. 19, following in the footsteps of the likes of Serena Williams and Venus Williams. Great women who have paved the way for her. And honestly, getting here hasn't been easy, especially during this tournament. And I honestly, she showed, for someone of her age, she showed great maturity in terms of managing her emotions, because a lot of times during some of her games during this US Open, in a way you would almost want to, I don't want to say it categorically, but sometimes it did feel like the umpires made unjust decisions against her, and it was so bad that she had to speak to the umpire during the quarterfinals. She had it up to there, and then she said, "Look, my opponent had taken so long when it comes to their service. I am always ready. What is the issue?" She spoke in such. I mean, she spoke in an intelligent manner. But you could see how upset she was, but she was still able to compose herself and get the words out of her mouth. I mean no harm when I say this, but a lot of women, when they are upset and when they are emotional, they find it difficult to put their words together. And I mean, she's playing a very, very high, intense game, and regarding the weather as well, and then regarding the importance of the tournament as well. But then she was still able to do that. And I mean, she is first of all in tip-top physical shape, but then mentally as well, she's strong. And she's someone who has accredited all that to her parents and obviously to God as well. So it's a big one for other young ladies now in tennis, especially ladies of color, in tennis. And I love the fact that she's 19. She's in Gen Z, so definitely she's a good role model, and she can help bring more women of color into the sport as well. So it's a great one from Coco Gauff. And don't be surprised. I love the fact that she's still so young. Once again, she's 19.
Yes,
this is someone who can actually go toe to toe with Serena and possibly want to beat her for the Grand Slam records. For the men, it's so much more difficult. For over a decade, we've always been talking about Novak Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. Now, because Djokovic was the younger out of the three, Djokovic has now gone ahead of them, winning a record Grand Slam title, which is 24. But I think Coco has time on her hands, and if she remains in a good mental space, remains humble, she can definitely challenge Serena Williams in terms of the record for women's Grand Slam title. So once again, congratulations to Coco Gauff.
Yeah, I won't complete this without calling on Margaret to talk about this woman as well. I'm talking about Coco. Coco won the US Open. Margaret, over to you. How are you feeling? A woman smashing it.
I'm feeling great. Coco. Yeah. No, seriously. I'm so happy for her. I'm happy that she did it at a young age. And and she became the 11th teenager to ever win a Grand Slam or the US Open, either of it. But so I'm actually so happy for her, from breaking into the scene as a 15-year-old, and then 4 years later, she's a Grand Slam winner. So it is something remarkable. And it's something remarkable after watching the likes of Venus, Serena Williams playing. She said her dad do take her that she will watch them. They were actually a role model. And I wouldn't be surprised that she will want to model again to Serena Williams like. But also, I just pray that she continues this way. The last 2 years, US Open winner, the girl. Robbie, please, can you help me remind me her name, please? It skipped off my mind, please. Can you? Last 2 years. So,
what do you want?
Okay, why are you like this? Why are you like this?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Oh, sorry. I meant what name
she won the US Open. I was expecting.
Rubbish, now.
I'm not saying a woman, not girl's power. I understand you. Make you no vex. Yeah, we are not like the men. I don't like the men that it has to be just one person dominating. The women are champions, girls are champions. That is why you see them every year. You see new winners. So Robbie, no vex, I beg. I honestly, her name skipped on my mind. I just pray that Coco will not be like her. I want her to continue from here, build up on her game, and do very well, and not change. I not want to change a manager like change a manager, have issue with your manager.
Emma Raducanu.
Yes, thank you. Right. So I just pray that they guide her very well, especially now her parents guide her well. She has a good manager that guide her, very good coach also. So congratulations to Coco and Djokovic. Honestly, congratulations to the both of them. Waiting. He has finally equal my namesake, we the Margaret, we understand,
All right, Kule. I'm going to tell you something. I was screaming over the weekend when this guy lost. I know you know about this. Adesoya losing to Strickland. What do you want to say about him? He was beaten mercilessly. I mean, that punch was not. You watch it, Abi? Robbie, you watch
I didn't watch it because
Robbie.
it's always UFC is always early in the
Yes,
morning.
I am with you. I am with you. But let Kule go first. But for me, it was just very simple.
For me, I feel. I mean, I don't feel Adesanya again, seriously, because
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I feel maybe the guy has probably gotten ahead of himself because of maybe how he really shot himself to prominence and fame when he got into this sport. But that's the thing about this kind of sport. When you have shown so much consistency, like you are no longer like you can't be beaten. One day you will be beaten. I don't know how many defeats, but if I maybe Robbie can help me, but this is about if not
Two
his
defeats. Two
is
defeats.
this his second defeat? Is this his are you sure?
Yeah,
You
his second defeat.
Third career
Okay,
defeat.
this is his second defeat, and look at it too. This wasn't a very nice defeat. So I think maybe this guy he really needs maybe to go back to the drawing board and maybe not stop. Maybe he needs to stop overrating his opponent because you being able to beat Adesanya means that whoever he meets next would also want to have a go at it, and so it's not good for him. So I think he really needs to go and evaluate himself better, probably work on because I'm very sure that he's got some weaknesses now that these opponents are exploiting. So he needs to go and work on those weaknesses and come back stronger. Otherwise, that's so morale will go and he'll just be beating him because it will make his case not go be like Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
That's my.
All right, Robbie, over to you. Do you want to say something
Yes.
before we wrap up the show?
Yes, definitely. Let me quickly say this. I think the overall issue with Adesanya right now is personally for the sport. It encourages a lot of trash talking. It encourages you to talk, and that is one thing that Adesanya does very well. But let me pointing out what Kole said as regards his weakness. The major weakness for Israel Adesanya is he hates to get dirty. What do I mean? I mean that Adesanya is not a grappler. A grappler is more or less like when you're looking at the Greco-Roman form of wrestling, or more or less your kind of street wrestling. Adesanya is not that kind of person. And when he meets opponents that have that kind of armory in their tank, he struggles against them. His first defeat, I'm trying to put the name of the guy together. That was majorly what that guy used to defeat Adesanya. It was just majorly grappling. The guy was just all over him, just hitting him around the ring, and of course messing him up on the mat. That was majorly how that guy handed Adesanya his first defeat. And the same thing can be said for Strickland.
Yeah.
Strickland is this person, he's tough, he's dirty, he is not scared to take punches. Adesanya is this kind of person. Adesanya is this kind of person that he prides himself in avoiding punches. And the truth is, you don't know how tough your jaw is if you cannot take one to the chin. And that is just where the major issue lies for him. So I think for now, if he asks me, I think he's taking on too much fights in a year. Because when was the last time he fought? If his last fight was barely 6 months ago, why is he fighting now again? Why is he fighting again? Even the notorious McGregor wasn't fighting as often as Adesanya is doing right now when he was champion. He wasn't fighting this often.
Yeah.
So I think he should more or less space his fight, take enough time to rest, take enough time to prepare, and more or less choose his opponents wisely. Because in terms of body mass, Strickland was much more bigger than Adesanya. And that punch he took to the face that more or less knocked him off his feet was another major issue for Adesanya. Because I cannot guarantee he can take punches from people who can hit him very, very hard. And that is one thing he has to look out for in his next fight. And like Ole rightly said, before I just quickly round up my point, the issue he's going to have right now is the fact that the next person who comes for him, despite the fact that he does not even have a belt, we want to more or less take a chunk out of him under the umbrella of, just like everybody defeated Adesanya, I am the third person to hand him his third professional loss. So I think he needs to watch it, and he needs to up his game if he wants to reclaim his belt as well as stay on top for a very, very long time to come.
All All right. Thank you so much. This is how far we can go tonight. Thank you. I want to start saying thank you to Nubian Prince. Nubian Prince, thank you for showing up on this one.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Ashaya Midiora, one love, bro. Anytime. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Don. Always a pleasure.
All right. Robbie, thank you so much. That thing is on the way.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that thing on the way. You remember?
Sure. I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Thank you so much. Okay.
It's always a pleasure to Don.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro. It is what it is. All right, Kunle. I social D. One love, bro. Be careful.
Yeah, thanks a lot, boss. Thanks so much.
All right, one love. Margaret, thank you so much. Join us on this one. One love, sis.
Yeah, thank you, Don. Good talk. Thank you.
All right, people, smash the like on the video. This is how far we can go. And I tell you, please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to our channel. It's still international break. So, this is how far we can go tonight. On to the next one. I say big up to everybody. Shout out to everybody. All right, this is Intercontinental Sports TV, One ISTV. Join us. Bye for now.